Coming to you live from far, far away, it's Swamp Talk with Shrek and Donkey.
Welcome to Swamp Talk. Hey, what did you do this weekend, Shrek? Shrek? Hello? I asked you a question, brother.
Will somebody please tell a certain donkey I'm not happy with him today, so I will be giving him the silent treatment until further notice.
Oh, yeah? Well, two can play at that game, Shrek. One silent treatment coming right up. See that, Shrek? Not talking to you at all. Zero noise for me whatsoever. No words coming from me, Shrek. Nope. Sitting here not talking to you like you're not talking to me. Man, I'm nailing it. Playing this game like a champ. I mastered the not talking. Man, I could not talk for hours. This is going to be great.
Donkey!
Like, oh, thank goodness, Shrek. I couldn't stand not talking to you. Let's promise to never fight again.
Well, there we go. Shrek gave us the talking donkey that we know and love. The donkey who won't be quiet. But actually the book of Numbers got there first. Chapters 22 to 24 are long and detailed. But actually the basic point in these chapters is pretty straightforward. The basic point is God's blessed people cannot be cursed. God's blessed people cannot be cursed. How is that the case? We get a snapshot here into the enemy camp. Occasionally in the Bible you get to see what's going on behind the scenes. Normally the focus is on Israel, on God's people, but occasionally you get to sort of go elsewhere. You get to go into Herod's palace or behind the scenes into the enemies. Here it's Moab and King Balak, who is desperate to curse the Israelites who he sees coming up against him. And so he calls this prophet Balaam, who's a shadowy figure. We don't quite know in this episode, is he good or bad? He seems to know the God of Israel, and yet elsewhere in the Bible it's clear that actually in and of himself he is anti-Israel. So he's a slightly strange figure. But anyway, God says to Balaam, you're not going to do that. You are not going to curse Israel because this is my blessed people. And in the background here is Genesis chapter 12. Those who bless you, I will bless. Those who curse you, I will curse. And you are my blessed people. You are going to be the people that I will bless of all the nations of the earth, in order that all the nations will be blessed. Remember? So the question is God going to keep that promise, or will Moab be able to curse the people through this prophet? Answer, no. And we go via this comedy episode with the donkey. It's comedy because, I mean, it's obviously comedy, but why is it funny? It's funny because the prophet who, and another word for prophet in Israel is a seer, one who sees, and he cannot see. He cannot see the angel of the Lord. He's supposed to speak for God, but he cannot see the Lord's angel. But the donkey, she can see. She can see very clearly, and so she stops. And he gets cross, and he tries to hit her, and he tries to hurt her and punish her. But it turns out she is saving him from death. There's a deep kind of irony there, as the prophet seeks to do harm to the one who is actually saving him from death. Does that remind you of anything? I don't think that's the main point here, though, because on from there we get these oracles of Balaam, and there's about 7 of them, including the last 3 very short ones. And again, lots and lots of detail, but the basic point is Balak is desperate for Balaam to curse Israel, and again God gives him words of blessing, culminating in this verses 17 to 19 of chapter 24. A star will come out of Jacob, a scepter will rise out of Israel. He will crush the foreheads of Moab, the skulls of all the sons of Sheph. This is not what the king of Moab wants to hear. Edom will be conquered, Seir, his enemy, will be conquered, but Israel will grow strong. A ruler will come out of Jacob and destroy the survivors of the city. So Balaam ends up foretelling the birth of the Messiah, defeating all God's enemies. And God's people will be blessed no matter what. So we can rejoice, and comedy is often used in the Bible to kind of God laughing at his enemies' attempts to curse where he is determined to bless. Who's going to win? It's going to be God. And the New Testament puts it like this: if God is for us, who can be against us? Romans chapter 8. Can you think of the effect that this would have on a fearful people as they wait to enter the promised land, or as they hear this story later and they think about their fear in the face of their great enemies? And it should be the same for us as we think about our fears, the things we think are going to knock God's plan off course, the things we think, I don't know if I can trust God. No, you can. If God is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare his own son but gave him up for us all, how will he not also along with him graciously give us all things? In the face of our fears now, in our present situation, in the face of our sin, in the face of all our worries about what might knock us off course, we can have confidence. God is the God who, when determined to bless, will bless, and he will not curse his people. So put your trust in him and know that he is with us, his people who trust in him, through all these extraordinary circumstances, through death into eternity.